Welcome back to Stamping at the Warren, and I'm Kim Tolton, and today I am sharing with you this little card here. I don't know why I always call them little cards. I do, don't I? I think they're rather pretty little cards. So it's a standard A6 card, and I'm actually changing it up a little bit compared to this. But the stamp set I'm using is in combination with a coordinating die pack. I'm using in colours. I've again changed it up a little bit by mixing the two different in colour collections a little. And I've used the Love Blossoms Designer Series paper stack. The stamp set is called Number of Years, and you've got these really lovely big numbers, different celebrations. You've got a banner here that comes with a coordinating die. You've got little flowers and hearts and dots and all sorts of little flourishes and all sorts of things on here. Another very collagey type of stamp set, which seems to be very in this year. And the die pack is also called Large Numbers, and you get stacks of dies. Open it up here. So you've got all your numbers, you've got a little banner, and there's that coordinating die, so I'm going to keep that out because we'll be using that shortly. So you've got these beautiful big numbers, and I think they've been really missing since the big die went from Stampin' Up with all the numbers and letters. I think they've been desperately needing something with nice big numbers, and this fits the bill just perfectly for me. I'm slowly, because I was an absolute, well I still am I guess, because I haven't got rid of any, but a real die hoarder, and I've got a huge collection of bigs and bigs extra large dies, and they just take up so much space compared to the framelits and thinglits. Right, so let's get cracking. I'm just going to move those to one side as I'm not using them. Right, so I am changing this up. I'm going to have more of the Designer Series paper showing and a smaller panel with the stamping on. But it's still essentially the same card. It's just going to really highlight what's in the middle. So begin as always by trimming a piece of thicker Whisper White cardstock to 21 centimetres by 14.8 centimetres and scoring down the middle at 10.5 centimetres. Then fold so that the ridge is inside the card, and burnish that fold with your bone folder a couple of times, and that's it. And that we're going to stick down a piece of Designer Series paper, sort of fleur-de-lis like patterned paper, and this is from the Love Blossoms. So you just want to put some fast fuse on the back. You could use tear and tape, you could use snail adhesive. I like fast fuse because once it's on, it doesn't go anywhere. It doesn't slowly peel off if it's in warm areas or moist areas. It's archival, and I just think you get stacks for your money. Right, so that's just gone down on your card base. What I've done is made a smaller panel, so this measures 8.5 by 10.5 centimetres. So this is what we're going to be putting most of our stamping onto. So start with the leaf stamp and Mossy Meadow ink pad, and you're going to use second generation stamping, so that means we're going to ink up once but stamp twice without re-inking, and that gives you different shades of the same colour. So pop this quite centrally once, and then over to the side, and then we might even get a little residual ink on, yeah, there. So, okay, so you've got 3 different tones. You want to then stamp the little dotty one, and that's in Hello Honey, no, Tangelo Twist, that's it. Most of these are from the 2014 to 16 in colours collection, but I've got Mint Macaron that I'm using from the current in colours collection. So a few of these dotted around, and you'll see that you'll get, you know, many different little dots without re-inking. So, and it just creates a lovely little background there. Next you are going to do some little flowers using Blackberry Bliss. I'm saying that really quietly because it's probably my most favourite of all favourite colours. And this has got these beautiful little, they're not roses, but they are beautiful little flower heads. And you just want to add some of these in and around the leaves, and just keep stamping until there's no more ink coming off. Okay, so that is the bulk of the stamping done. Next is going to be a bit of die cutting. No, I've still got Mint Macaron to come. I'm telling fibs. See? Telling porcupines. Right, Mint Macaron. Going to start by stamping. I'm going to take this one off actually for a moment and swap it for this one. So I'm going to use, it's like a big watercolour swipe. It's what created this here. And I'm going to create like a halo over the top there. Swap that back for the letters. And because I've finished all the colour stamping, I'm just going to pop all of my ink pads away, if you bear with me. You'll hear clunk, 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 twist, 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 and that's just me putting all the ink pads away. In they go. 1, 2, 3. And then I'm going to get out. I actually think I'm going to use Tip Top Taupe because it just coordinates with what I've been using. And we'll use the Look Who's Turning. And now I haven't, this is me winging it because I haven't done this particular card. So I'm just going to go over the top of this brush stroke and put down the sentiment. And it says, Look Who's Turning. Quite subtle, but I quite like that. Don't know what you think. Sometimes you get the best cards out of just being the most random. And then you're going to put the label on here. You want a scrap of Whisper White cardstock. And again, using Tip Top Taupe just to keep it all coordinated. We'll do the frame of the label in the the same colour and also the sentiment. There's your label. And here is the sentiment. And being photopolymer, you can be quite accurate with your placings because you can see through everything. And that's what I did. Yes, I knew there was something else I did. What I did was with the mint macaron, I hope you can hear me because I'm kind of muttering away to myself as I'm making this up as I go. So stamp off some of the ink and then over the birthday sentiment and the label add some colouring there too. Next we're going to be doing the die cutting. That is all of the stamping now done. So I can mat this onto a piece of mint macaron cardstock, and that measures 9 centimetres by 11 centimetres, 9 by 11. If you're working in inches, all you have to do is convert. So you do your card size in inches as normal, and then you would just make your layers smaller or larger by 1/4 of an inch each time. And this goes on here. You can see that little card coming together. And this we're going to be mounting on here like this. So I shall pop 4 dimensionals on the back of there. And you'll see the difference at the end. I can see in my mind's eye what I'm working towards, and I hope it works. But this is how I try things out and work them out. And then sometimes I'll have made something like I did this one and then thought, oh, it needs something else. I'm not sure what, but it needs something else. And then usually as I'm trying to fall asleep of night time, the idea comes in my head and I think, oh, let's try that. So it's quite a nice little card already. And you're going to be die cutting the numbers and also the label. So bring your big shot up, and you'll see I'm using shims, and that's just because my big shot is getting a little bit old. I think it's going to be have to be replaced fairly shortly. And I need the number 5 and the number 0. That's the 0. And there's the 5. You just want ideally a magnetic platform. If you don't have a magnetic platform, then obviously use your multi-purpose platform on tab 2, so no flaps open. If and when you can afford to get a magnetic platform, I really do urge you invest in one. It is absolutely essential to what I do now. I can't imagine working without a magnetic platform anymore, and it's probably the best thing Stampin' Up brought out, and I was so delighted when they did. Right, I'm just popping my shims in there. If you haven't got ready-made shims, then just 1 or 2 layers of cardstock trimmed to sort of 15 centimetres wide, and that will act as a shim. And all it's doing, it's allowing extra pressure for for the blades to go down. It's just where my Big Shot's got loose, and like all of us as we get older, we get a little bit looser around the middle. And that's all it is. Right, so pop out the middle of there, and that's your 0, and there goes your 5. There you go. Got a 0 and a 5, and let's put those back. Don't trust myself. And lastly, you're going to cut out that banner. That isn't a nipple, by the way, if anybody's looking. That's from doing the balloon celebration card yesterday. But every time I look at the card, I think, oh my goodness, there's a nipple in the shop. And get that lined up. And using exactly the same sandwich as you did before. You do get, as your Big Shot gets older, you do get a better cut if you use a shim. And pop that die away, and then I can shut up that pack. There we go. Big Shot can go away. Cashbang wallet, and in comes these 3 pieces here. Now, yesterday I introduced you to the Wink of Stella. Yep, and it is a fab glitter glue pen, and it's so fine and so quick drying, but it gives the most stunning, almost champagne-y, glimmery look to a project. And because it's so fine and it's so easy to put on, the brush is so soft. You get such a beautiful end result with it, and you actually get quite a lot for your money because it does go a long way. The other benefit of it is incredibly fast drying. So these will be dry in an absolute flash. I'm just working my way round. If you reach a point, if you're using it a lot in one go, then you'll probably have to squeeze this piece here, and you squeeze, there's like a squidgy bit. If you squeeze that, it will release more glue. Just do it gently, otherwise you get a great big splurge of it, and then that's just a waste. That's one, and this is the other one. And what I like with these is with some of them there's even texture on the dies, so it creates a 3-dimensional image, which is just superb. Love it. I don't know if any of you remember Morning Post. It came in words, it was like celebration, occasions type stamp set, and that came with a coordinating stamp set of large numbers, not as large as these. And they went when the last catalogue was retired, and I really missed the fact that we didn't have any large numbers, and so I think me and so many people who love Stampin' Up are delighted to know. Right, that one is dry, so I've only just finished these and this is already dry. So on the back of this, you want to pop a few dimensionals, 2, possibly 3. Now I'm going to decide where this goes, because originally it was going through here, but I think it would be quite nice under there, because once we've got our 50 in there, what do you reckon? I like that. Decisions. Ah, now I quite like that. Yeah, I think that's what I'd do. Okay. And these are dry now as well. See what I mean? They really dry quick. So you're just going to have to cut down some dimensionals because they'll be too wide in places. So if you cut along this edge here, you'll actually be able to trim off some really tiny pieces that you can pop on the back of your numbers. Because I always think it looks very unsightly if you can see the foam pads, the Stampin' dimensionals from the front of what you're doing, because you really want them tucked away, hidden, don't you? You don't need many, and then it will take probably a whole one in the middle there. Let's turn it over, yeah. And then same sort of thing with this one. Just some nice small on there. Nope, that's going to show, I can tell. I like talking to myself. I don't really. It's not particularly pleasant listening to yourself all the time. One there. And one there. And that's all that we need. Those go down. And there goes your 5. And remove the backing on those last few dimensionals. I'll go straight across the middle there. What do you reckon? I think I prefer that to the original, but you let me know which one you prefer. Comments in the comment section underneath today's video, or at the end of my blog post, which will be going out live the same time as the video is published. And I love to get your comments anyway, and love to hear from you and chat back to you. And you'll also find all my social media information is in the show more section, and I'll include a link to my blog post as well. So feel free to follow me in as many or as few of my social media outlets as you wish, and I'll look forward to seeing you again tomorrow. So ta-ta for now.